There is a sound coming from outside your window right now, or there was one this morning, and you probably did not think twice about it. It sounded like a robin, then a blue jay, then something you could not quite name, then a car alarm, then silence. And then it started again. You assumed it was several different birds scattered across your yard, each living their own small life, but it was one. One single bird, sitting on a wire or a rooftop or a fence post, performing an entire world from memory. You have heard it before and called it background noise. But what is actually happening inside that gray, unremarkable body is one of the most scientifically astonishing things occurring in any backyard in America. If that thought just made you stop for a second, you already belong here with us. Subscribe to Mind of Backyard Birds, and never let another morning pass without knowing what is really singing to you.
Stay with me until the very end of this video, because there is one behavior this bird performs, documented for the first time only recently by researchers at the University of Florida, that Darwin himself got completely wrong. And once you know it, you will never hear this bird the same way again. The Northern Mockingbird, Mimus polyglottos, has a name that translates directly from Latin as many-tongued mimic. It is not a large bird, gray above, pale below, slender and upright. It looks almost deliberately plain, as if nature spent every last drop of its energy on the inside and left nothing for the surface. But what lives inside this bird is staggering. According to the Cornell Lab of Ornithology, a single northern mockingbird can carry a repertoire of more than 150 distinct song types in a single lifetime, and that number grows as the bird ages. One individual recorded by Cornell ornithologists mimicked 32 different species in just 10 minutes, not over a day. Not over a season, 10 minutes. And the sounds were not approximate. They were precise enough to trigger responses from the actual species being imitated. But here is what makes this not just impressive, but deeply personal. This bird is not singing randomly. It is singing your neighborhood back to you. Research from the Cornell Lab confirms that mockingbirds deliberately incorporate sounds they identify as belonging to their territory, building what scientists describe as an individual acoustic database. A mental map of every sound that defines their world. That means the song coming through your window is not a performance for a crowd. It is a portrait of your street, your trees, your yard, rebuilt note by note inside one small brain and given back to the morning air as something that sounds like music but functions like memory. Now here is where the science opens into something unexpected. Inside the mockingbird's brain, the region called the HVC, the higher vocal center, does something almost no other structure in the vertebrate world does. It continues generating brand new neurons throughout the bird's entire adult life, a process called neurogenesis. Cambridge researchers studying avian vocal learning have identified this as one of the most extraordinary examples of adult brain plasticity ever recorded in any species. The older the mockingbird, the richer and deeper the song. The more life this bird has lived, the more voices it carries inside it. And research from the University of Washington on songbird mate selection confirms that females consistently choose the males with the largest, most complex repertoires. In the world of the mockingbird, wisdom literally sounds like music, and music is how you survive. Which brings us to what Darwin got wrong. For over a century, science operated on his assumption that female songbirds exist primarily to listen. The male sings, the female chooses. That was the story. But a landmark study published in the Journal of Ornithology, drawing on hundreds of hours of nest camera footage, documented for the first time that female northern mockingbirds sing too, and that they use vocal mimicry when they do. She sings more quietly. She sings when the male is away from the territory, and she sings while sitting on the nest, protecting her eggs, in a soft, private voice that science is only beginning to understand. He sings to be heard by the world. She sings to hold it together from the inside. Both of them carrying the same song in two completely different ways, and yet one of them sings alone. Unmated male mockingbirds do not stop when the sun goes down. They sing through the night, near streetlights, under full moons, into the dark and quiet hours when no one asks them to, and nothing requires it. The National Audubon Society regularly receives calls from people lying awake at 2 a.m. asking what that sound is and what can be done about it. Nothing can be done, because that bird is not performing for an audience. He is performing because the song is everything he has, and he has not yet found the one who will stay and listen. His notopallium, the brain region responsible for memory and recognition, has already built a map of the entire neighborhood. Every threat, every familiar call, every sound that means safety. He is ready. He is waiting. And he keeps singing into the dark because stopping feels like giving up. In the 19th century, people trapped northern mockingbirds by the thousands and sold them as cage birds, paying the highest prices for the ones with the largest repertoires. They wanted to own the song. What they could not understand, what science has only recently begun to measure, is that you cannot own what took a lifetime to build. Every sound this bird carries was earned through years of living in one place, paying attention, and deciding that each voice was worth keeping. Around 50 million mockingbirds live across North America today. One of them has almost certainly memorized the sound of your yard. It knows your mornings. It has mapped your trees, your wind chimes, your screen door. And one day, without warning or announcement, it will sing all of it back to you, in a voice that sounds like everything and everyone you have ever heard outside your window, except itself. Was there a morning when a sound stalked you completely, when something outside felt like it was speaking directly to you, and you could not explain why? Tell us in the comments below. We read every single one. This is Mind of Backyard Birds, and we will see you in the next moment worth noticing.